Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day that you're listening to this or evening. My name is Alvon Griffin, and I work with the Stageworks outreach, and I was asked to perhaps share with you what it is that I do with the children, I guess we'll say kids around the area. And it's my pleasure and privilege to do that. First of all, we hope that you're safe, that you remain safe and very careful in these days and time. But let's get to this. What I have created is a system to teach basically, I call it hip hop bucket drumming. And we do this using math. But I'm going to take you through this step by step, because you can do this at home if you want to. All you need is a chair that doesn't have any arms, because you're going to be moving your arms, a bucket, like a 5-gallon paint bucket, and a couple of sticks. And you just need to be able to count to 16. That's all it is to do this. And this is how we do it. First of all, as I said, no arms on the chairs. If you don't have that, you can always get 2 buckets, and you can sit on another bucket, and just so that you can move your arms. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to turn the bucket over, and you're going to step on the handle. Now, there's 2 different reasons for that. Obviously, you're going to be hitting this bucket, so it's going to vibrate, and so you want to have something that anchors it down so that you can actually play it or hit it again. So you step on the handle. But also, it's about the sound. Because if it's flat and you hit it in the center, it sounds like this. But if you tip it up and you're putting the bucket on the edge of your foot, I guess we'll say, and you hit it in the same place, it sounds like this. That's one of the 3 sounds that you want to get. Bass is in the middle. Soprano, or your highest pitch sound, is on the edge. And your 3rd sound we call an accent. An accent just means that when you get to a number that has the accent, you're going to hit it harder on the edge. So, in other words, if you're playing like this, the bottoms are the accents. Now, everything is right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. There's nothing tricky about that at all. But, as I said earlier, what you want to do, or have to do, is be able to count to 16, because every time you hit the bucket is a number. Now, you're going to start with your right hand, and this is how this goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1, 2, 3. So you get up to 16 and start all over. Now, one thing is really important to allow you to move your arms is when you put that bucket on your foot, you want to point your knee directly at the bucket, at the center of the bucket. And you want to play with your right arm outside the bucket, and right arm outside your leg, and your left arm inside your leg, so that you can move your arms. And if you were to just place the sticks on the top of the bucket, it would form a triangle, or a V if you prefer. So that's the angle that you want to play. So now, going back through this really quickly, turn the bucket over, you step on the handle. Normally we just put it on our right foot. The majority of people are right-handed, but if you're left-handed, you can put it on your left foot. It doesn't really matter. It's okay. You're playing at an angle, you're pointing your knee at the bucket, your arm is outside, your right arm is outside your leg, your left arm is inside your leg. Everything is in groups of 16, and every time you hit the bucket is a number. Now, I'm using purple and white sticks. You can use whatever it is that you have handy. Spoons, forks, knife, whatever you want to do, whatever you have handy, 2 of. Obviously, you have 1 in each hand. But I'm using purple and white sticks. The reason for that is when I'm teaching, I show the kids that you only want to use the white area to hit on the bucket. The reason is because of the sound. Because if you go into the purple area, it changes the sound. See what I mean? However, you know, I stress to them, well, not stress to them, but I tell them that it's also not about the color of the stick. It's about where you hit. This is a target. I turn it over and we do the same thing. Same situation. So this gives you a visual so that you can hit in the right area. And if you miss it, no big deal. No big deal. Because, you know, you really can't make mistakes that are, it's not important. The mistakes are not important. Some of the young people that I work with, they dwell on the mistakes, or they don't want to try something because they're afraid to make a mistake or whatever. We don't worry about that. Because the way that we explain it to them, if in fact they made a mistake, you know, that's now in the past. Because this will never happen at the same time ever again in your lives. So let's not dwell on the mistakes. Cool? Okay, so now we've got the 16, we've got the 3 sounds. Now we get to the math of it. I think you can see behind me to my right, I have the numbers on the board, 1, 8, and 10, and then I have an asterisk with 5 and 13 following that. The way you read this, in fact, and I not only teach them how to play it, I teach them how to read it. Because I can show them how to play it, and they can go home, and like an hour, 2 hours later, they'll forget how they saw it. But you can write it down so they actually have it with them everywhere they go if they want to. How you read this is the 1, 8, and the 10 are your bass notes. How you find that is by just counting. So we're going to start with our right hand. And as I mentioned, everything's right, left, right, left, right, left. So that automatically means all your odd numbers are going to be on your right hand. All your even numbers fall on your left. So you already know where that's going, where 1, 8, and 10 is going. But I'll show you how we figure it out. So right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, as I mentioned, everything's in groups of 16. 1, of course, we started with our right hand, means all the odd numbers are on our right hand. 8 and 10 are both even numbers, so that, of course, is going to be on your left hand. Now, if they're not to the point where they know the difference between odd and even numbers, say they haven't gotten that far in school yet, this is a way for them to practice that. This is a way to show them how to figure stuff like that out. So, now we put 1, 8, and 10 in the middle. Now, as you notice, I have that asterisk, and I have the number 5 and the number 13 after that. Now, what that means, any group of numbers that has an asterisk in it, the numbers to the right of the asterisk are the accents. So now, how you read this, you're going to put 1, 8, and 10 in the middle. When you get to the number 5 and the number 13, you're going to hit it harder on the edge. 5 and 13, or 5 is what kind of number? Odd or even? Odd. 13 is what kind of number? Odd or even? Odd. So you automatically know that's going to happen on your right hand. The way you figure it out is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Follow me? Pretty simple, pretty easy. As I said, right, left, right, left, right, left. All you have to do is count to 16. Be able to count to 16. Doesn't matter what language you count to 16 in. And sometimes it's just, you know, you can feel it. So now, going back through it really quickly, and then I'm going to show you what the final product is, or what we hope to get to. Everything's right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. 3 sounds: bass, soprano, accent. All your odd numbers on your right hand, all your even numbers on your left. Accents just mean hitting it harder on the edge. And if you forget what I said, 1, 8, and 10, 5, and 13, write it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these numbers, I'm going to count so that you know exactly where I am, and we're going to slowly speed it up so that you hear what this rhythm becomes. So once again, 1, 8, and 10 in the middle. Hit it harder on 5 and 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, So we have one, and that's what that becomes. And it's almost like magic to them, but it's really not. Anything that I do, they can do, you can do. It's just right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. Now, the reason why I might play it a little faster than you do when you start is because I've done it more times. It's totally a numbers game. That's all it is. And this teaches them, or teaches them a lot of different things, but patience, focus. You have to be able to work with several people in the same room, because there might be like 6 people, 10 people, whatever, that you're working with trying to do this at the same time. So each one teach one. The first one to the end is not the winner. We get there together. It's a lot of different things that's taught during this. But once again, I'm going to go through it slow to fast. And then I'm gonna get out of your way so you can actually try it. Just a bucket, sticks, and a chair. So 1, 8, and 10, the center, accent on 5 and 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Somebody who can freestyle, you've got the foundations of hip hop. It's all about rhythm. So thank you for allowing me to be with you today. Be safe. Hopefully I've given you something that you can do at home if you like, if you wish. You can actually take this anywhere. All you need is a bucket of sticks and a pair of sticks. There we go. And a chair. So once again, my name is Alvon Griffin. I'm here to Stageworks Theater. I'm part of the outreach team. We've been doing this with your kids for a long time. So thank you for that opportunity. And maybe we'll see you again soon. Take care.